I like that the music switched to Cry of the Elves after
Hey,
you
guys,
finished
I'm not gonna be
saying
able to
that.
play D&D tonight. I'm
Yeah, I
sick.
think I quit. Hey, welcome back to Easy to Spell, where the name is easy to spell and we did it wrong anyway. Welcome back to my fantastic cast of adventurers and David. Beginning with
Hey, I'm Mike, and I play Raven.
Hey, I'm Rachel and I play Vala.
Hi, I'm Mako and I play Fawn, or Ramen.
I'm Will, and I play Doan, and I have a nasty taste in my mouth.
Oh!
Did you hit your lid? Did you hit the lid on the way out?
Oh, Jesus.
Is that what happened?
that's not why he's got the taste in his mouth. That's why he's got the bump on his head.
Nobody knows what we're talking about.
And my name's David. I'm playing Fat Man.
Nice.
And we come back to our party, who has just met the leaders of the Resistance, located in the underground in the heart of Valenstead. You've just met Kaelin Torvin, the leader of said Resistance, as well as some of the higher-up members of the different factions within. It is standing in front of them with, I believe, where we left off last time was Kaelin asking what you are worth to the Resistance. We have things that we can do. You specifically, Vala. What worth you have is more than just a hostage.
Do you know how to undermine a religious narrative?
That's what we've been working to do for months. We have an idea.
Well, that's something that I've been trained on how to do my entire life. Do you know how to build and change cultural values?
Perhaps not.
That's what I've been trained for my entire life as well. Do you understand how our economic system works and how our reliance on war as a method of trade would be easily undermined?
These are things I've somewhat more experience with. But let me guess, you've been trained on it your entire life. The follow-up then is not just what you can offer, but why we should trust you. The people that trained you on these very things for your entire life are your own family. We believe that you just turn on them.
Maybe because I'm the one that killed my father. I'm sure you've heard rumors. He hasn't been around much, has he?
We've heard rumors that he fell ill. Shadow.
He is not the power
The
behind.
Shadow. Put your men on this. I apologize. Continue.
He's not the power behind the government. And it isn't my mother either.
She would have been my next guess. If not your mother, then who?
Victoria is the one that pulls all the strings right now.
The court sorceress.
Yes.
How sure of this are you? It's my understanding that she's always come at the beck and call of your mother.
I'm betting my life on it. Someone who desires that much power does not follow the beck and call of another.
Give Shadow, the Shadow. Give the Shadow some time to validate your claims. In the meantime, we do have sparse residences available. You and your companions can take up rooms. We'll see what use we have for you and your body. As it stands, there's little we can do. A number of us, and he looks around to some of the other people in the room, but families taken to the keep, to the prison. We're struggling to find a way to move forward. or the lives of those that we love and are seeking to protect in the first place, holding the balance. You've all come a long way. If you are truly willing to help, you might be able to provide the catalyst that we need to incite real change, not just the small steps we've listed so far. Now I have work to do. If you have any questions, let me know.
Well, then I
Hey.
guess we'll find our space until we're ready to talk.
Show them to their rooms. He shouts to Alfredo, who nods. And he turns and goes back to the maps and papers that he's been poring over on the large table. You are led to just a series of, there's 6 or 7 rooms that are all empty in one quarter. They're very sparse. They're like barracks. Each one has a 2 bunk beds, so there's 4 beds per room. However you guys want to divvy out, you have this little space to yourselves. But let me know what you plan to do. What are your...
As we get shown to our rooms, I'll just look to Alfredo and just say, is this where everybody's stationed for sleeping, or is there another wing that if we need to reach somebody, we can?
There are a number of rooms carved out of the corridors, much like this. They're kind of scattered about. This is a recently put together fortification, as it were. Also, a number of members have their own domiciles within the city and ways to access them, using the sewer systems as you came through. If you require to reach anyone, let me know. I can seek them out. Otherwise, you are free to wander the halls. Any rooms containing things you would not be privy to will be secured. And so you are free to wander. If the door is not locked, you're free to go in, essentially.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Of course.
Shall we take this one? I'll walk into a room with Fallen.
Lord Fatman, I have specially prepared your space.
Perfect.
Gestures, and that one opens up, and there's just like a large 4-post, like king-size bed. The bunk beds have been like pushed to one side. It has the like canopy, like mosquito mesh netting, draped over it.
Where's the food tray?
Oh, sorry, sir. If you look, there is a tray of holding just past the pregnancy pillow, I believe it's called. If you look over, and there's a bowl, and it seems laden with. At first, it looks like it might be fruit, but they're just like fist-sized dumplings.
Perfect. As you were.
Of course. Call if you need me. And he just strides away down the hall. I didn't know what you guys are doing. That's I've left you.
I didn't
Well,
know if
in your room.
those two were gonna pick
Yeah,
your room or
we're-
not, but
Yeah.
So, yes, we need to come up with a plan, right?
I think I might have some ideas. I've been thinking through some of the things that we did when I was a child, that I learned about how we built that religious narrative of following Xyorta, and I think I know how we can help break those beliefs with the people.
If there's anything I know about religion, it's if that faith falters, people are lost and looking for something, so.
It'd be an easy way to step in and provide another ethos for them to follow. And the other thing, I think we need to take down their ability to fight in the first place, take out all of their military powers. And I think that starts with however we can undermine Victoria.
Yeah. I guess that's another thing. She knows where we're at all times. Like, everywhere we've been, she keeps showing up. We've got to find a way. I don't know if she's tracking us somehow. We've got to find a way to, I don't know, block her view, shield it from view or something.
I wonder if either Fat Man would know who to purchase something like that from, or Alfredo may know how to make one. He seems to be quite adept at magical creations. Some kind of a shielding artifact or an item.
That's a good place to
I think
start.
I think you're very right. Until we have something where we can be more confident that she can't see what we're discussing, maybe we need to keep our words more cryptic.
And I know that things are bigger than the individual right now, but Kaylin mentioned family that's, imprisoned, and
That's one of my first steps.
I hope they're still alive. Thought I lost them, and then, to hear faith or
To have hope.
hope that they are alive, and hope they're here.
I do too. I would love to meet the people who've made you who you are.
Probably need to meet the person who's helping me become more.
We'll get there.
By the way, keep a close eye on the Shadow. There's something about him that I'm not confident with.
I see that as well. Although
There's a knock on your door.
incompetent.
Come in.
Doman opens the door, and he's just like leaning over the top of the door frame with like his head stuck in. So, do we have a plan?
We have the starts of one, yes.
Lovely. Might I throw my hat in the ring as well?
Sure.
I have an old friend who was a bit of a creator. He was a real brainiac, this one. And I had thought that perhaps if something we need to do is get rid of a military and reinforce our own, technology might be a great spot to start. So if nobody has any other suggestions, or maybe we do, I don't know. I thought maybe we could look him up, or at least his old digs.
I think that sounds great.
Forgive me for being hesitant, but I mean, the last friend you introduced us to is a little out there. Is this one? I mean, honestly, is he a little bit more put together and not a guy wearing a mask hiding from who he is?
I'm gonna need you to define "put together," because in the technical definition, no, not at all. If
And
we're
don't
talking
forget,
personality- Yes.
And don't forget, I spent a long time pretending I wasn't who I was.
But if we're talking personality, he's basically the same person as Fat Man, but entirely opposite.
Got it. One of the, okay.
Amazed how similar they are, actually.
Well, if you have faith that he can.
Oh,
turn
he's
him on
dead.
your own.
He's not around anymore. But I'm hoping that something that he had laying around.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Apologies.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to help us out personally. But
Sorry,
like I said, he had a lot of cool toys.
when you said I have a friend, I assumed he was still alive. My apologies.
It's a bit of a gray area, but no, I don't think he'll be helping us out personally.
That's definitely a step in the right direction.
It doesn't have to be the first thing we do, but I think it'll help.
I think the first thing is definitely getting the shadow off our back, and sorry, not the shadow. This person following us.
I say I kind of like the shadow. Which person are we talking about?
My
Vala?
sister.
Yeah.
Oh,
We think she can see us
aha, one of
anytime
them
she
types.
wants.
That seems like a good first fix.
Do you know of anything that could shield us against an unknown eye?
I'd start with divination magics. I mean, I'm no expert in them, but find a local wizard, I imagine.
Alfredo?
No answer. I'll say Fawn and Batman. You both hear the call for Alfredo, so if there's anything you'd like to join in this conversation.
Alfredo!
Yes, Lord.
Follow me.
Yes, Lord. And you just go
Ramen.
across the hall from one room to the next.
Fatman, did you overhear us?
I heard you call for Alfredo.
And then he called for me himself. How may I be of assistance? I apologize. The enchantment is specifically directed towards one person.
Oh, all right. Well, we were wondering if you may have any idea how to shield someone from being watched or scried upon.
I might have some limited knowledge, but I actually believe the young master would be better suited towards any such items or creations. He's eccentric, but the young master is quite a proficient artificer.
Fatman, you didn't tell us this.
Duh.
He's more
Well,
intelligent.
I'm more of a
and skilled.
cook.
Could you cook us up something that would prevent scrying or being able to be seen by dark things?
I could try. I don't know. By dark things, what do you mean? Dark things.
Just a
Sorry, I apologize, David.
Yep. I was like,
I can't
What are you
see
talking
your,
about?
your character sheet. In our original
Why?
conversation said that you said you were going to be an artificer, so
yeah. I don't know why
Yeah,
you can't
that's-
see my character sheet.
I can't open it. It's just a bunch of question marks.
I like the vision, the idea that Fatman has told Alfredo he's an artificer, and he's just buying shit and saying he invented it.
That's well. I
We
mean,
can retcon this a little bit. This is my bad.
no, that's fine, that's fine. Sure, ramen. He's gonna hold on and reach into his utility belt, pull out a few platinum. Take this and find something. I'll make it as soon as possible.
Alfredo looks between the two and goes, reaches out and
I thought it was ramen. I said that too.
he takes it and goes, "Young lady, do not worry. I will take care of this for him. I apologize for my misunderstanding. No need to trouble yourself. I'll gather your raw materials, sir."
Thank you.
Is there anything else you need of me specifically?
No, thank you very much for your help.
Of course. I'll return once I have the materials for the young master to produce the artifact you require.
You should be able to see him now, Andrew.
Refresh. I can. I don't know why that did that, but
That's
sorry about
so
that.
weird. Usually the DM it.
Yeah, I don't know. Will was having some weird problems with some like content availability as well.
Yeah.
But okay.
So,
Okay.
I guess we'll wait for Alfredo to get back with materials. I think we need to be honest with ourselves. I think right now it's not time to go into the city and cause a ruckus. I think we definitely need help. Domin, I think if we find anything from your old friend, that would be great, and maybe that's where we go next, potentially. I think getting some information from inside the city might be a good thing in the meantime, though.
Which is it? Is it go to the lab and try and ascertain some technology, or is it skulk about the city?
Well, I mean, until we're shielded from the eyes, I don't want your friend's location with whatever they may have developed to be seen.
I won't go.
One.
She's looking for me specifically.
This
I can-
location should be pretty discreet. I'd be very surprised if there were eyes watching you at this moment.
I mean,
Even magical ones?
What if it wasn't on this
Even
plane?
magical.
You think she could see off plane?
I get the feeling that the reason she can see me is because of an off-plane being she's made a deal with.
Oh.
I
Adds
met
a
him.
level of excitement to it.
I could describe him for you to see if you may have met him. I get the feeling that interplanar travel is something you're familiar with.
Not really. I spend most of my time on this one. I had some friends who took a brief stint.
Okay.
Well, I guess the reason I bring it up is, I think most of Avi's tech wouldn't be located on this one. I think it's in the Astral Sea. At least that's the story that I was delivered.
Oh. I mean, if we're going to the Astral Sea, I think... I would hope that her reach can't reach that far.
And if it can, it's a bit of a hop, skip, and a jump getting there. Truth be told, I'm not sure how we're going to do it.
so do you have a way back?
I don't have a way there. We're figuring out the whole thing as we go.
Oh, alright. Well, then I guess our goal right now is to figure out how to get to the Astral Sea. And perhaps we can find information about the city as we go as well. Although
Abby did have.
we could.
Sorry to interrupt.
Sorry.
Abby did have locations on this plane as well. A location that I'm aware of. But it's here. So if we're worried about anybody being able to ascertain our location, Astral Sea was just a pitch to get us out of say Victoria or
Victoria, yes.
her view.
Review. I think the simple plan there then, if it's here and we can travel to it easily, I stay in the city in disguise at the very least and ascertain what I can. It doesn't seem like she's directly trying to capture me or anything. And it would make sense to her that I would be looking for information, so we send you and Raven to go to this shop of your friends and look around. And I'll take Fat Man. See if we can get him disguised in something other than his mask.
What do you mean? It's a great disguise.
But we'd need a different disguise if you're going to pretend to be an aristocrat walking the streets or speaking with other aristocrats to gain information.
I know someone who can do that. On my behalf.
All right.
And
But-
Fawn,
Did you
would
say-
you come with us, or
Of course. Given
And so,
Fat Man, if I can go join them. I've been kind of craving for an ass kicking.
I heard you took one in the training room. In the rage room.
Yeah, but that only, like, passes the time. I need a little more. We haven't been fighting much.
Alright, fine.
I'm sorry, did you say Raven, myself, and Fawn? And then you and Fat Man would stay?
We would go into the city ourselves, under the guise of aristocrats trying to find more information. Figure out.
I would take
some of
my
the
leave,
politics
the
that are
rest of
going
you
on.
would go. I've got a friend
Oh.
for my place.
Yes, Fatman has a friend that would help me.
Well,
And
I'm
if
not.
she's. Go ahead.
I'm not so sure what everybody in the party, and he looks at Raven, would think about leaving you in the city while we traverse off to parts unknown.
I mean, she's well equipped to handle herself, and
I thought the shop was here in the city.
Averin shop?
E-
No, no. It's very buried. It's very far. It's.
Oh,
We would probably at least need Fat Man's ship to get there.
oh well, then perhaps we wait until we have the shielding and then we all go. I don't think that. It sounds like this is not a short trip as I had assumed.
No, think more archaeological excavation
Mm.
rather than purchasing.
I think we need some other things in place before we move on to that stage then.
Gentleman sees Raven breathe a sigh of relief.
Immediately, Fat Man's gonna reach into his utility belt and pull out just a little weird, like, burger-shaped device.
Is it a burger?
It looks. Just back there. Then he reaches back in and he pulls out another thing that kind of looks like a corn dog. And then puts that back and then takes out another thing that looks like a. This is very obvious, like plastic type thing. Alfredo, double time. Put it back in the.
Affirmative, young master. I'll be returning shortly. I believe I found what we need.
He's talking about the supplies.
Yeah,
Perfect.
of course. Of course.
So a few minutes go by as you guys talk over some of the details. Before you hear footsteps down the hall, and Alfredo, Master, would you like me to provide these to you in your room so you can prepare the equipment?
Sure. Go and walk into the room, close the door, and then I open the door, let Alfredo back out. Close the door again, and then about 5 seconds pass, and all right, I've made these for you.
He's quick. He's efficient.
They are inscribed stones that each of you can carry. If someone attempts to scry on you or magically perceive you by some means, the stone will, depending on the power of the observer, crack or break. Once the stone is broken, they will then be able to see you again. There's a variable number of charges. I got enough for each of you, but they are of limited use. Sorry, there's enough supplies for the young master to make one for each of you, but they are limited use.
All right. How many charges?
It depends on the strength of the caster themselves.
All right.
It will essentially try to impede their own will and disrupt the spell. It
And
is
say as soon as it
guaranteed.
breaks.
As soon as it breaks, you are no longer protected. It will have interrupted that casting of the spell.
But if say someone were to cast an immediate subsequent scry spell, they could.
If there is another stone within 15 feet of the target of the spell, another one will absorb some of that burden. Depending on how if your stone breaks, stand close to someone who does have one, if you are trying to avoid being observed.
All right. I think
Wonderful.
that if we, I think these will be useful. Thank
At
you.
least give us time.
You should be safe while you're here. There are a number of anti-divination inscriptions throughout this entire structure for obvious reasons. The impossible to exist as a resistance in the heart of a capital that you are resisting without some form of protection against such things. Might I ask you what your plans are?
Now that we have a means of discussing without being watched, yes.
Well, you have.
Um,
Sorry. To be clear, you have been free to discuss it. Well, here, I should have made that clear earlier.
Mm.
I assumed through context you would know you were relatively safe from divination magics. Again, an entire resistance in the sewers of the capital, there have been some precautions made.
Right.
That's why our heads remained on our shoulders.
Well, plans it is then. I believe that our first step should be finding our political prisoners. For multiple reasons. We can get these political prisoners out of the hands of the current administration. We can utilize their particular talents against the administration. We have representatives from other countries that we can utilize to help us. And we can provide them with the understanding that we are going to change this administration and take over and give them solace that we'll start trade, we'll do what we can to be good neighbors, as opposed to what they currently have to deal with. So I believe that should be our first step. From there, I think we'll have the resources to begin undermining the religious narrative, starting to erode their military might, building our own, corrupting the current values that the culture has, and sort of shifting that ethos. And then exploiting some of the economic and social weaknesses with our allies that we can create by getting these political prisoners. And
Do you
I
have
hope
anybody in mind?
There are a few specific targets.
Hey, do we have the map? Because Rachel doesn't remember the names of the countries.
Oh, yeah, that's just in the maps channel of our Discord.
Okay. Perhaps Raven can help me remember real quick.
Yeah, the country. You have Nalbrand is the empire you're in. Ostromir and the Feldenwaith are the other countries to the south. And there's a
Ostromir
number
is the
of-
one that Raven is your family.
Raven's family is from Lion's Fall, which is a city-state independent of the other countries.
Okay.
And then you also have like Gormund is another like independent city-state. Angtakar, similar. It's the Viking tribes where Guy left to. Discuss amongst yourselves. I have to run for just a second. Be right back.
Yeah, we have some commissaries from the Lion's Fall.
I believe there were some from Gormans as well. And those are two city-states that were in talks with us about trade to begin with, and then my mother happened.
And so the game plan is better political affiliation with these city-states?
Yes, better political affiliation so that they can help us support an actual war, a civil takedown, a coup.
I like it. How about, you said political prisoners?
Yes, that's what these individuals are, as they were emissaries, or they were individuals working against the
They were trying to build treaties between the the areas, and bring more peace to the area.
I see, so by breaking them out, they can continue that, and we get our better political affiliation.
Yes. There were others that were also imprisoned that would probably be part of this rebellion had they not been imprisoned.
And I
They
mean,
were part of the resistance.
Getting some of these family members for, Kaylin and the rest of them that we just spoke to, that they said their family is trapped with these prisoners as well, is just going to strengthen our bond and trust with them.
Playing the relationship game.
Playing the relationship game and saving innocence.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of both. Can we go now, or do we need any prep work?
We don't necessarily know where they're being kept, so we should probably talk to
That's Mark on
Kaylin.
the prep work.
Once we have that, then we can start heading in that direction. Maybe have more information about failed attempts that they've tried and where weaknesses might be. It's not going to be easy. And much as I hate to say it, there may be a moment that we have to pull out.
In my experience, prison breaks require hardware. You don't usually just walk in. Probably need to secure some explosives would be fun.
Fatman, I think that you may be able to help us in this location.
Got it all covered.
Fine, I'm not.
Typically, I put evildoers in jail, don't break them out, but
Well, these ones are not evildoers, they're innocents, so we would be breaking out innocents.
wrongfully
Wrongfully
justice.
imprisoned.
incarcerated. I was trying to find the word.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm good at taking people out from a distance, but Fawn, you might be able to help us out with the close quarters.
Well, of course.
It's a fight you're looking for, right?
Absolutely.
Be a good one for us to have.
Okay, well, I guess if that's the game plan, who wants to talk to Kalen?
I can go talk to him.
Might I also recommend that the person who's going to be the face of the future country
Of course, yes.
secure some relations?
Well, you guys
Okay.
catch up and, take some rest and get some food. I mean, you all look famished, so
It's
Well,
about that time.
Enough said, and I'll throw myself onto the top bunk and from my knees down, just hang off the bottom of the bed.
yes.
All right.
Go speak with Kaylin.
And then Draven, you're going with her?
Yeah.
Okay. He's still in the same spot. He's just like writing, just taking down notes on something, just going over correspondences and things in front of him in that same large room. Like I said, you've returned quite quickly.
Yes. I want to expedite this relationship. You need to trust us, and we need to trust you. And I think one of the best ways that we can do that is to get some of your family back.
You seek to break prisoners out of the Draugr Hole.
Yes, we need to know what you've done and what intel you have so that we can do it. We've done it in the past.
Specifically this prison, Princess? Or
No, not
Prisons in
specifically
general.
this prison, but we have broken into prisons before.
I imagine you're somewhat familiar with the Draugr Hole that lies in the heart of the city.
I have some understanding.
It's more of a fortress than a prison. We have a map of it we can provide you. Actually, if you just hit the join session on your character sheet, I have a map pulled up.
Woo!
Flashbang.
Of the Draugr Hole.
Goddamn.
It's pretty.
Atop the cliffs that lie behind the keep, forming its back wall. Draugr Hall is a 3-story fortress. We're gonna actually, everybody's finished food, you've gathered your party, and you can all be around as he lays out this map for you all to look at. It's a 3-story fortress that houses, previously, the Empire's most dangerous criminals. Now it has become something of a playpen. Family members of political rivals, political prisoners, criminals, discontents, they're all kept here, lock and key. After what you've discussed and in the time since you brought this plan to me, the Shadow has had a number of his contacts return. It will verify several things. A, your father appears to still be alive. But in the process of validating what you said, they noticed some sort of illusion magic that was over his form. If we take what you say as truth, it means somebody is impersonating your father, the king, and holding court sessions again. Second thing is there is a figure that has been known to frequent from the palace itself to Droger Hall. A woman. The Shadow himself was able to verify that this is the court sorceress. We think she's doing something in the keep itself. There are 2 points of access. One is a lift that goes from the palace grounds, not the inner wall, but the outer, allowing military access from the southern end. There's also a gate on the north side. The walls itself stand approximately 50 feet tall, allowing for the inner space, and there is a central tower that is able to observe most parts of the yard itself. Aside from rotating watch schedules, some of the guards, we've worked in the city for a long time. Colin Margrave knows some of the soldiers that work there personally, but none have quite yet defected to our cause. We don't have a real in for you without some effort to be made. This is the information I have available. If you plan to assault the Droger Hall, I won't risk my men to go with you on a half-assed plan.
Do you have anybody near the king?
We have a number of non-combatants that have worked their way. Scribes. A few members of the aristocracy also don't like the direction that Albrand is heading.
I'm wondering if we can disrupt the illusion on him. At least temporarily, where they'll have to keep him hidden for a moment. We can enter the prison under the guise as the king. Of course, this is just an idea, not a plan yet, but
I'll let you work out the details and come to me with a plan. That one, I'm not sure how that would work. The access to the prison is not in the palace itself, but the outer wall of the palace grounds.
But by the time that the information that the king was being hidden got to the palace, or got to the prison, we might have time to put a plan in place.
It's
Let me
possible.
discuss with my team and I'll get back with you on...
It
more
better be a
plans.
solid plan. If you're asking one of our very few informants to activate any sort of magical item or spell in the presence of the most guarded man in the entire empire, it's a death sentence. You'll be asking them to die. It better be worth it.
Do you have a list of prisoners that have been confirmed?
I can start working to compile that now. That's a few family members, a few members of the aristocracy. There were most recently transferred, a few months ago, there was a transfer from a prison outside Aldrich's Bastion. A number of political prisoners, I believe from Lion's Fall. I'll confirm names and others quickly as I can,
Thank you.
of course. I do not mean to be so harsh with you, Bella. Your family has been the cause of much pain to me and mine. I appreciate what you're trying to do, and I will try to be less abrasive.
Don't. When you put me on edge, it makes me do some of my best work.
In that case, get the fuck out of my office. And come back to me with a plan. And a good one. Turn you over to the Empire myself.
We walk out. Or Vala does.
Okay.
Also,
You have
as I walk with Vala, I just want to like anytime I'm in that common area, I want to see if I can see where the other people are going, like which hallway they're heading towards, to go to like their barracks.
Okay. Yeah, I think your passive perception is enough that as you start, making the rounds and seeing where people are going, kind of mapping out where people spend the most of their time.
Let's find a space to make a plan.
That was a pretty sick musical transfer.
I agree.
Let's make a plan.
Cue the montage.
It's a little intense for actually like discussing a plan. That's what I'm gonna switch that.
Save it for later.
Yeah, I'll save that for later.
I mean,
We have a map. The shadow has not quite turned guards, but guards that might turn a blind eye. The way that I see it, we could look of doing it 2 or 3 different ways. The first way, complete chaos. Cause chaos on the outside, which in turn will cause chaos on the inside. The next, we look at going in stealth without knowing any of their capabilities and their security checkpoints. That's going to be a little rough. The other is a mix. A Hail Mary. We go in stealthy, see what happens, and shit hits the fan, create chaos.
I'd like to suggest a fourth way rather, for anybody counting. Perhaps a personable integration into the prison. We said we had guards rather, that may be willing to turn a blind eye. Perhaps they are open to bribes. Perhaps they are open to letting visitors slide a little bit more than they should. If we can get in, talk our way in, it may save us some of the sneaking, may save us some of the punching. Just a thought.
Do we know where the princess is?
Wonderful.
Sorry, the fake one.
We don't. Not that I know of.
Isn't okay, I could be wrong. Isn't she dead now? Because she was your sister that didn't she try to help you? And then fuck Victoria killed her or something?
You're thinking Svetla.
No, there was
Is
the
that what I
other
was thinking?
one that was outside the bar that
Bard.
I punched. That she was pretending to be me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And is she dead or not?
She didn't. You don't know. You haven't seen her.
Heard from her.
Okay.
The reason she had you like punch her was because she didn't want to get caught up in your bullshit. She didn't want Victoria to think she was helping you. But she didn't want to turn you in.
Just refresh my memory. How does the fake princess's location help us getting into the Draugr hole?
I mean, it's again a Hail Mary, but how many of them know that the princess is fake?
So the real princess shows up and
Walks her way through.
Under what pretense? What's the princess doing there?
I'm
with your
coming to.
father.
In a prison?
That's where he's at, right? That's what.
No,
was
he's
that-
he-
Perhaps.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood.
I mean, just under the pretense that I have
If,
prisoners I want to speak with. I'm a fucking princess. They listen
If it-
to me.
if it's appropriate for me to interject, if it really is your sister who's visiting the prison regularly, you are now hidden from divination. And it is known that the court sorceress is your sister, or operates closely with the royal family. This does seem like it could be an opportunity for you to finally get the drop on her.
That
the
involves
guys-
information gathering.
If the guys, if the deception is that you're going there to visit maybe not your father, but to see the court sorceress, it would increase the danger substantially if you're waiting until a very specifically dangerous individual is there. I digress. I apologize. I'm just the butler.
Good thought. If that's our end goal. Or perhaps, I'm not discrediting Alfredo's suggestion here, but perhaps the opposite is in order. If we're trying to completely avoid her, and we're immune to detection, we show up when she's pointedly not there.
I was
Not what our goals are, but
thinking the same. Whenever we arrive, I think that if we can create some kind of a distraction somewhere else that she would need to attend to, that, such as if the king's illusion falls and she has to figure out how and why as the court sorceress, I had not thought of being myself. I had just thought of being him, but go in as him in disguise with my cloak.
I think either
Get
way,
in, sabotage, get out, while she's distracted.
I like it. Although adding an extra distraction does convolute our problem just so slightly. Not saying I'm opposed to it.
I think whatever path we decide, we definitely need the chaos on the outside in case things go awry. To get a quick out. So I guess a hybrid approach in general is required.
Is this going back to explosives? Sounding like we're talking about explosives.
I mean, as a secondary need.
I mean, if we could... Do you remember the dragon?
Yeah.
We let him go. Could we... No, that's silly. Try and get him to come and attack the prison that he wouldn't put his life in danger for us.
Not even sure how
What
we
I
would
know
reach
about-
him.
From what I know about dragons, they are greedy.
We would need to give him something in exchange, so that might not be the best distraction. I think explosives can be part of it. I think we need more than just explosives, though.
Didn't you say you let the dragon go?
Yes.
Is he not already in your debt?
We-
Well, dragons have that whole honor thing.
I mean, again,
Am I
I
thinking
just don't
of
know how to
preference?
reach him.
We did make a deal with him, though, that he wouldn't attack specific towns, so that might, in his mind, keep his honor.
Either way, if we're looking for allies in overthrowing a government, and allies in whatever the hell you're trying to do, a dragon is always a good ally.
That's true.
That's where I'm throwing my vote.
It's the dragon. I think that might be. I think that might be an idea. I think that if we can make it seem that more than just the dragon, but an attack on the prison to get the guards out of the way with the dragon.
Would an attack on the prison to move guards be ideal? You think you'd want an attack on something important in the vicinity that's not the prison, specifically?
Well, then they would
Something
send
close
other
by.
soldiers.
To where the dragon is, not to.
Not to the prison.
Oh, yes, okay, the dragon to distract for Victoria to have to go take care of. Yes, okay.
If you
Doesn't
can
even have to do anything dangerous. Some fiery flybys and back home with them, and we're on our merry little way.
I mean, Vala, if
You
you can
said-
remember a way to get a hold of him, that is step number one. We know where he went, but
You said you saved the dragon, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
What did you save the dragon from?
death, torture.
He was being siphoned.
By who?
Yeah, who could siphon power from a dragon?
It was one of the priests was essentially had him chained and was cutting him with a specific type of dagger that released his blood into the water supply of a town that made it so that he could control them.
Was it?
We can
Of-
convoluted.
Is that person of Nalbrand potentially
Was.
ordered by Victoria?
Yes, he's dead now.
An act of revenge, then?
Also a great motivator for a dragon, I hear tell.
That's true. We will just need to contact him.
Where did he go?
Can't fucking remember anything. I'm like digging through my notes. I can't find the guy's name that we killed. I can't find the dragon's name.
The guy you killed is the Hierophant. I can't remember his full
Thane.
name, but
Thane.
Hierophant.
Thane.
Hierophant
Thane.
Thane.
Hierophant.
Dane,
The dragon went to the appropriately
dragon's
named
spine.
Dragonspine Mountains towards Care. The dragon's name was Dravorin. And I believe one of you can just cast Sending.
Oh yeah.
We're
Not
making this a
to,
lot harder than
not
it
to
needs
solve
be,
your
right?
problems for you, but
Um,
one of you has a spell
That's
list.
why I just kept asking if anybody
Thank
knows
you.
a way to contact them.
I didn't
Wait,
want
I
to spell it
think-
out, but I was like, I'm pretty sure Vala has sending.
Yeah, that's I'm like
Yeah,
we're just circling this here.
I forget I'm actually magical, guys.
Are men at all?
Learn your character.
No, I don't have sending.
As a cleric? You might not
It
have it
is cleric.
prepared, but it's on your spell list. So it might have to wait till the board end.
Okay. Well, I may. Okay, back into it. Well, I think I can contact him. I can cast a spell to do so. I'll just need until the morning to do it. We can see if we can convince this dragon to take back their revenge at a very timely moment. And then that would pull Victoria away from the area. Then getting into the prison, if I go in under the guise of myself and say that I'm coming to... I mean, the sorceress would no longer be there, so speak with some specific prisoners. I go in to speak to some specific prisoners as the princess.
I've no problem with it, but I do worry about suspicious activity getting around, especially from the princess, somebody who is talked about quite frequently. Just worry about random guard. Oh, a princess came in today to talk to a random Joe Blow that has no business being talked to by somebody of that high of a station.
Then we utilize those guards that are borderline and bribe them. As the princess, you're doing your duty, and I'm giving you money. We know that their loyalties are borderline, so bribery feels like it might be a little bit easier with them.
If you're the princess, why would you need to bribe them?
I need to keep it quiet that I was here. These are state matters. Do not share them.
That's borderline, princess. That seems a lot more convoluted than just coming up with a good reason to show up. An inspection, maybe? Is that something that princesses do of prisons, fortresses,
Well,
whatever?
speaking with political rivals to gather information is something absolutely a princess would do.
Rachel, sorry to do this to you. You do have sending prepared already.
No, I just looked it up.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at it.
All right, roll change. Andrew's playing ball now. Let's go.
I searched my spells and
It's a
sending
third
did
level
not
spell.
come up.
Sending
Now-
right there. It's right there.
Now I'm
Maybe
just
I spelled it wrong.
I
now I'm
think you
just sitting here going, why do we have sending stones?
Well, they only speak with each other.
I know, but still, if we have sending,
Well, we had the sending stones before I got sending.
Yeah, you
Okay.
had this for a while. Yeah, you have it. You're probably searching your druid list.
Fine. It's fine, whatever.
I mean, when you were, before all this, what were your duties as the princess?
Learn. I mean, meet with political adversaries, meet with representatives of the government.
We know that there is a political adversary there. So if that was part of your duties before, it's not that far-fetched to claim that as the reason you're there.
But interrogations,
Victoria-
like,
Not an
I understand meeting with, fellow country rulers or what have you, but these people are prisoners. You had interrogators, didn't you?
The Valkyrie
yes.
also.
I am the Valkyrie.
So, what if there was certain information that you were trying to get from a particular political leader that no other ears could hear? But you would have to figure out who that leader is within the prison.
Theodore
Got a
Corellius.
list of- It's a very specific name.
What would he know?
He's the emissary from Lion's Fall. He was trying to build bonds for. And if he's still alive, then they're just trying to break him.
I'm coming in with a different tactic. Sugar.
That sounds believable.
And we just need that list to make sure he's there.
And once we find that list, perhaps we can find another prisoner on it that may, once released specifically from that cage, may be able to help us get the others out.
And so, to recap, our real goal Is a full prison break?
At least as many political prisoners as we can get.
It's not a surgical strike, it's break everyone out.
I think so, yes.
So after we're in, we need to decide how we get out.
For my 2 silvers worth, I'm with Fat Man on that one. His first idea. The best way to get out of a prison is chaos. I feel like,
Chaos.
if you want everyone out.
So then let me propose this. While we're inside, if we can get the dragon to agree, we talk about having it attack nearby the prison, pulling at least a portion of the guards out. And then chaos ensues. We arm as many prisoners as we can. We start fires within reasonable means, because we're attempting to release, not kill.
I think, yes, if we can stage a diversionary attack outside the prison, would pull those guards. It would need to start after we were already in, about to speak with our political prisoner, and then arm those inside to help him get out.
The dragon would be a great choice, but I feel like this is more of an expertise of
But I think the dragon is
nature.
to distract Victoria, so we call on the dragon to attack far away so Victoria is gone.
Well, we need the dragon to attack within a reasonable amount of space if we're going to pull guards from prison.
I think we find something else to utilize as the diversionary attack rather than the dragon.
So then dragon, say on the capital, and then the diversion from, say, maybe some of the Shadow's men.
Yes, I think that with a solid plan, we would have those resources to create a diversionary attack. I mean, their goal is not to completely take down the prison or take down all of the guards. Their goal is to just get enough of them out that these prisons on the inside can get out themselves.
Okay. I want to jump in and say it sounds like you guys have a pretty good plan. We'd have to like role play for a bit. What preparations you guys make? If there's ones that I think specifically require role play, we'll do those.
I would like to buy explosives.
Okay.
namely small
Fatman's
charges and
taking
big
care
charges.
of all expenses.
Okay. I posted in game chat a list of explosives and costs already. I got ahead of that. I think Micah's the only one that saw it.
No, I saw it.
Okay.
I saw it.
Easily hidden weapons.
I would like to find the location of the in-fort armory. If I can suss that out on the map.
Oh.
Okay.
If there is one.
You know, we'll say you have the shadow put some people on it, and the central tower, the base of it has the armory.
So we get somebody in there to open that up. And then we have bags of holding that we can put other weapons in.
Yep.
The princess and her regalia isn't going to be searched near as much as anyone else, so instead of petticoats, she'll have weapons.
Okay. So that's going to be daggers, short swords. You can get a couple of those on your person. Are you messaging the dragon?
In the morning, we'll message the dragon. Do we want to do
Okay.
that now?
Let's do that. You have 25 words.
I do have some stuff that night that
Oh, yeah.
I would like to do. If you want to go back,
Well-
or we can.
Yeah, no, let's start with that. Let's what are you doing?
So just at night, at some point, I want to find where the shadow is barracked.
Okay. And that was, you've actually been to his room. You can find him with no problem.
Okay. I'm actually not going to walk up to his door, but instead I'm going to grab my bow and string a letter to it.
Okay.
And shoot it into his door and disappear.
Okay. Do you want to say what it is, or would you prefer to message me what the letter says?
I mean,
Are
if
you
he
keeping the
opens it
secret?
up,
Remember it.
no, if he opens it up, I'm down to read it.
Okay.
So it
You disappear into the shadows, and after a few seconds, you hear the door creak open. Pulls and unfurls.
and he'll read, "To challenge the princess again would see you vanish, a wisp of nothingness, erased from the realm of living. You shall be but a shadow on the edge of existence, fading into the annals of forgotten souls."
Give me an intimidation check at advantage.
Okay.
Raven.
Intimidation, 16.
16. Okay.
And then just
You,
says,
if you're still
"R."
within, yeah, if you're still within sight of the door, he leads out, kind of looks up and down, and the door shuts.
And I go back. That's all
Okay.
I wanted to do.
Anybody else doing anything before we message the dragon?
I'm just saying, great, you signed it with R, so it's just like, well, that could either mean ramen or raven.
I'm hoping the arrow helps
Yeah.
with that.
Helps with that.
Okay. All right. 25 words.
And I mean, I can cast sending over and over again, right?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
You can.
so.
But it has to be in 25 word chunks.
Give me just a second.
It's 5. I'm just kidding.
How would you like to enact some revenge on those that kept you captive?
I'm interested. Are you one of the little ones who freed me?
Yes. My name is Vala, and I'm trying to take down the empire that tried to hurt and kill you, that kept you captive.
The very empire. With your word, you forced me to give my word. I would raise no claw or cloud to. What
To the
vengeance
people.
do you offer?
I told you not to raise claw to the general people. Taking down an empire is different.
Then what of me, do you ask?
Guys, we didn't talk about what we wanted the dragon to attack. Help me.
I mean, if they're around, every
Yeah.
time you talk to him, you have to recast the spell. So as long as you have spells to cast.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll pause out for a second and be like, yo, friends, what
Looks like you worked
Andrew-
this out in the past. And yes, David, that is cool.
Oh, Okay. Is there like something of note far enough away? So the capital and the prisoner, I'm assuming, not even close, right?
No, the prison is actually like on a cliff just above like the palace grounds. It is in the capital. There's military
Gotcha.
encampments around or like a military encampment around the fort.
So I mean, if we did it, say, on the opposite side, that should still be far enough, right?
Yeah, just on the opposite side of the city.
Or even the farmland just outside the city.
That would work well, because if we're taking out the farmland, those are crops that the city needs, and in order to feed the city, well, that would put the city into a dire need, and a need of allies for trade outside of the current administration. That would be perfect.
And it forces them to go fix that problem, because if an administration is seen not protecting its people and its crops, it's no administration at all. So that's a forced response in my mind.
Perfect. All right. Okay. Then we'll utilize that. Okay. Dragon sending stone. We would like you to attack the farmlands just to the side of the capital of Nalbrand. All it is farmlands. You would not be hurting individuals, and as soon as an attack came on you that was too large, you could leave.
You disrupt me, nor for vengeance. The vengeance you give me is plants.
What you would be doing would lead to the demise. Oh, hold on. Erase that. Mm-mm. The one who would respond is the one who commanded the Hierophant to do as he did to you. She would be there for you to take.
And to those who rise to meet my challenge, the blood spilled. This is an acceptable price to you.
Yes.
By wing, it will take me 7 days.
On the 7th day, I will speak to you. All I ask is that you let me know exactly when you'll begin.
Three, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're getting close to the end of your spell. Have you been hitting cast every time you...
No, I've been distracted. This is nerve-wracking.
Okay.
I'm gonna assume that's probably it. So they can respond, and then we'll see.
On the 7th day, I will arrive, and I will attack. You can plan around that. I'm not some beast to come at your call. With this, we are even. Okay.
All right, well, the dragon is in. We have 7 days. We'll need to see if we can get a watch to watch for the dragon so that we know when it's coming, so that we can time my entrance so that it happens while Victoria is distracted and pulled away.
Okay. You have 7 days to make precautions. Notably, the Shadow over the next few days is very accommodating to requests that Vala makes, and he avoids Raven like the plague.
I guess in that time, do we get a list of names or anything?
Yeah, that's it. You get a pretty comprehensive list of, if not names, like where people are coming from. You get all of the family members that have been collected. There's about 30 individuals. Their list is like important. We'll say. We'll say those are. Let's see. Those are 50 gold each. We'll just say.
Roger.
I guess in that time, just I'd go over that list and see if my parents are on it first of all, if they, or if there's like a for sure name, or if it's like emissaries from Lion's Fall.
Yeah. Your father's name is listed, and then it says, Lion's Fall emissary accompanying Theodore.
Then I would just kind of examine those names and see if I recognize anybody. I'm sure I don't, unless it was somebody else down in that area. Yeah, and I guess just, I guess I'll tell the group, like, you know, it's important when we move forward with this that everyone here understands we're going to try our best to save as many people as possible. Breakout's a breakout.
We will likely lose some.
Well, are you aware if they use just typical fire to light the torches, or is it magical fire?
Likely a magical fire. It is, I would assume it'd be Victoria's way to show as much power as she could, and a regular fire would be too easily wielded by too many people.
Well, I hope you're right, because, I mean, we know how normal fire reacts around you.
I forgot about that.
Did we talk about how the rest of us are getting in? Princess obviously has run of the mill, but are we going in as guards? Are we making our own way, or?
My personal guard is what I think would work.
So I'll need a custom tailored tabard, I suppose. See if I can find one of those.
I'd say military uniforms, anything like that, you can easily get here in the Resistance headquarters.
Okay. One for a 7+ foot tall individual.
I mean, you have to have it tailored a bit, but I can make something work.
I guess one other thing I would do during this time, is there anybody that it's been known or made aware that they can do enchantments or forge things that can be enchanted?
Potentially. That's what are you looking at having made?
The thing that we've discussed previously.
Oh, yes. Yeah, you can have that done easily.
Okay.
And then if we have a whole week after our preparations are made, Doman would like to go investigate the shrines and churches of Skjoder in the city.
Okay.
and he goes in and pretends to be a regular patron at most of them, but spends a lot of time following and investigating the clergy.
Okay.
And he's looking for true clergy and then people like Hierophant Thane. And trying
Most
to-
of them are going to be like Hierophant Thane. Like, you've been around the block, listening to them talk. It's very, I mean, it's a very toxic environment. Like, you see a number of priests actually like they're punching down on people that come there, like, to pray for strength, to pray, not just of arms, but like of will, or strength to get through some like sickness, or the sickness of a family member, or that someone in their family will have the strength to do so. And the ideals of like strength and glory seem to be primarily held in the martial sense, like alone. There are a few never like upper members of the church. These are always like acolytes and like prayer leaders, like smaller community groups, like some youth pastors that talk about these other ideas, and strength doesn't have to be the ability to kill your enemies. But they're very few and far between.
He just takes lots of notes.
Okay. Anybody else doing anything over the course of this next week?
To help the group, I just sent my plan.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Sorry, friends. It's long.
Wow, we.
Okay, so instead of typing this all out, Batman will procure a shit ton of smoke bombs, and alchemical fires, and basically split it amongst everyone to where we each have 5 apiece. So 5 bombs, 5 smoke, 5 fires.
Okay.
Bomb, smoke, fire.
Find all the descriptors of what we talked about.
Okay.
Just type in smoke bomb, and I haven't looked up fire yet. The alchemist's fire. Alchemist's fire. Yeah, just type in alchemist and it pops right up.
Okay. And then smoke grenades, it's a 20-foot sphere that becomes heavily obscured. Specifically. We're going to fast forward to the 7th day. Is there any other preparations anybody wanted to make? Feel free to throw that out. Let me know.
I would have tried to bribe, or at least put money towards bribing some of the guards that we have at least talked to.
Okay. When we had some introductions made at different taverns, I would like you to make a persuasion check.
Yep. Oh, that's 28.
28. Okay. That is going to help. That's you are introduced Margrave, who's actually a member of the military who's part of the resistance. She takes you to a tavern that's actually really close to the palace. I'm assuming, or not you, Fat Man, but she takes your friend Woosbrain, where you spend a night drinking and carousing with soldiers. You end up in a game of cards with a number of guards who all work at the Draugr Hall. Sorry, Mike, we'll say 10 minutes per day, like it resets at dawn. So it can be a bonus action, can activate it and deactivate it. Let's worry about cost later. You have enough and we'll keep it reasonable.
And am I accurate in saying that Kalen's group would be willing to be a diversionary attack on the prison?
Yeah, they're able to put something together.
Okay.
The 7th day comes along. Sorry, we need to finish, David. But yeah, you spend the night drinking and playing cards with these guys, getting on their good side before you slip them each a small pouch of gold. With an understanding that has been reached.
Okay.
Noon on the 7th day. You are all ready, a short ways away from the prison itself. In a small safe house the Resistance has. One of the Shadow's men turns and goes. A massive green dragon was just spotted to the southwest of the city. Is this the distraction you had arranged?
This is the distraction. Let's go.
He opens the door for you, just nods. You're about 5 minutes away from the main prison gate. And about halfway there, you start hearing shouts. A number of soldiers turning and running from their post to the southwest side of the city. You approach the lift to the prison, and as you walk up, it drops, and about 20 soldiers step off of it. You're able to step on as it begins being winched up the cliff face to the Draugr Hall. We can keep going. It is 7:11. How do people feel? Do we want to get a little bit into this?
I think it's gonna be a long thing, and once we start, I'm not gonna want to stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do the Draugr Hole next time.
As you crest the top of the cliff, Vala, you turn and look to the southwest of the city, where the massive green wings of Dravorin. He is breathing out plumes of acrid green smoke down in the farmlands around the city. Even from here, you can hear the screams of farmers caught in his assault. It is with this, as you come in, as you crest and you turn and you see the guards of the Draugr Hall, waiting to see who's coming up. It's 50-foot walls towering to either side of you on this opening that will leave off there. And we'll come back next time on Easy Dispel. Thank you so much for joining us. Have an awesome week. We'll see you on Thursday, maybe, for games. But we love you all. Have a good night. Bye.